It is here, everybody. Week 3, episode 3 of the Sonoma State Football Dynasty here on the Rabbit Hole Sports YouTube channel. In this one, we go to Boulder, Colorado for a showdown with the Heisman Trophy winner in real life, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, and of course, Coach Prime Time down there in Boulder, Colorado. But before that, we're going to do a little schedule review. I'm going to explain the UCSB team builder I have in here a little bit more. We're going to look over Colorado's schedule, see what they've done so far, go over some stats for our first 2 games of the season, look at the top 25 rankings right now, look at the conference standings real quick, and then, of course, we will get into some exciting gameplay. But first and foremost, I want to get into a deeper dive of our schedule. We're playing 6 home, 6 away games this year. Of course, we have already played Hawaii at home, ASU on the road. We'll go to Colorado in this one here today. We will go to San Diego State to open conference play next, have a bye week. Then we got Nevada, Army, and Marshall in there. And then we wrap up with what I would view as the meat of our schedule. I know we got SMU, BYU, Boise State, UNLV, all down there to end the season. I'm excited about that. And then, of course, we have UCSB in there as well. That is the team builder I added in because my parents and brother both went there. I went to Sonoma State. So it's just to give us a fake team builder rival that we will make consistently good. I'm going to beef them up a little bit throughout the series so we have a real good rival to be consistently going up against. But as for our opponent in this one, the Colorado Buffaloes, they so far have taken on Texas Tech, took a loss in that one, blew out FCS, and then won at Nebraska, which they weren't able to do in real life. So we will get a chance to take our crack at them in this one here today. But a little teaser of what they've done so far this season. Now, it's only been 2 games, but looking at our stats, we're starting to figure out who's who on our team a little bit. Teron Barnes off to a solid start this year, 619 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, 64% completion percentage. Rushing, we still are waiting to kind of see who emerges as the top horse in the backfield. And in the receiving category, we got 3 different guys already with 100-yard games. So Scott McLaughler and Scooter Page over 100 yards in week 1, and Demetrius Williamson with 100 yards in our second game against Arizona State. And then Javion Foreman had 70-ish yards or so as well. And then Spencer Strickland did have over 100 yards rushing in game 1, but only 5 yards rushing in game 2. So we'd like to establish more consistency. A lot of that is going to be on my play calling and just getting the ball out of the hands of Teron Barnes a little more and getting this run game more consistent. We were able to really put up a lot of points by being consistent and dominant in the run game in week 1. Week 2, not the same story, so we need to get back to doing that. I think we need to get back to doing that if we want to score closer to 50 points every time out, realistically. As for the top 25 so far in this dynasty, we got something a little different from what you see in real life, at least at the very top. But as a Michigan fan, I will live in this state of delusion here. But we got Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, Ole Miss, Alabama, Missouri, Florida State, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Arizona, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, USC, Louisville, Notre Dame, Kansas, Miami, LSU, Washington, Clemson, Utah, and SMU. And if you remember the conference realignment I talked about where there's a Super 2 now, 21 of the 25 teams are from a Super 2. If you noticed, I also went over the conference standings there super quick. Not much has happened in terms of head-to-head matchups so far. SMU is the only team in our conference ranked, and they are 25, so I won't talk too much about that. But let's rather get into the action against Coach Prime down in Boulder, trying to scat, shoot all over these guys. You can see that is the name of my playbook. That's not some weird saying. To a degree, it's a weird saying. I guess, but we could get into that a different time. But here we go, Folsom Field in Colorado. I don't know the name of the mascot, but they're hyped. They're electrified now. Come on, look at that. Go Bucks. Here we go. Ready to get underway. Javon Moore back deep for the Seawolves. in this one, coming off a nice win against Arizona State last time out, made a lot of plays on defense, looking to do the same on offense, establish more consistency on the ground game, continue to not turn the ball over and get the big plays that we need. 3rd and 1 here on our opening drive, and we are going to shift. Left some pre-stuff in there, pre-snap stuff in there again. So if that really bothers you, let me know. But Teron Barnes on the ground. Oh, Hezzy. No, that was not the intention right there. Actually, I was trying to hit Y super late to get it out, but it was right when the option became unavailable. So instead, I just stopped running, and could have been a disaster, but ends up okay. And we're going to hit an out route to Scooter Page. What do you know about Scooter Page? Teron Barnes on the ground again, and we're going to do a much better job protecting, get to the ground with the slide. But the offense is rolling, and we are scatting and shooting all over them in these first couple of drives. An absolute clinic of what we want to do offensively in these first 2 series. Here we're going to move around, try to get Javion Foreman in the right leverage. Don't really like what we got, but I do like Spencer Strickland out in the flat. We need to get to these checkdowns more often. There we go. Perfect example, right? A little scat back, getting involved. Spencer Strickland, 1st down, Sonoma State, just outside the 40 at the 41. Want a little play action. Maybe have Scooter Page on a post, but we're going to step up in the pocket, something we need to do more as well, and take off. And we got a 1st down, and Teron Barnes with 4 carries on this opening drive for 31 yards. But we're going to have a 3rd and 10. We want to cash in on this opening drive here, try to get CJ Peaks on a crosser to convert a big 3rd and 10 early. But we're going to take a shot to the end zone to Scott McLawler, and it's broken up in the end zone. Looks like we have a step there. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe a little underthrown from Teron Barnes there, and we miss a potential opportunity at a touchdown on the opening drive. Had touchdowns on our opening drives in each of the first 2 games, but a chance to still get points with the senior Ian Wells from 43 yards out. And he is going to send it in. It is 3-0 Sonoma State early on here in Boulder. And it is Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter on offense. We got to see Travis Hunter a little on defense. I didn't point him out. I didn't notice him involved in any plays, but doesn't mean he was. I may have just not seen him. But here we go. Got him to a 3rd down. They're going to go over the middle, and we're going to break it up. And remember, first game of the season, we could not make plays on 3rd down. That's going to be such a huge factor for us. If we can get pressure, obviously, because that's a huge part of our scheme, and also make plays on 3rd down, that's going to be big. And on our second drive, we're going to get it to Scooter Page to start it off underneath. He's going to get us 8 yards. Maybe need to get on the agility ladder a little bit, work on the juke move. But great start to the drive, 2nd and 2. And what did I tell you? We're going to scat and shoot all over him, get it out wide here. We're going to get it to Spencer Strickland again, and he's going to have some splash plays for us in this one. He had a great first game. Really didn't get him involved enough in that one, only 4 or 5 touches. But in this one, more involved, and we're going to get the senior involved, Demetrius Wilson, another guy who had a huge 2nd game. Kind of the opposite of Spencer Strickland. Huge 2nd game, not as involved in the first one, but he has a big catch there to get it going, and we're going to shoot it again, this time right back to Scooter Page. Come on, the freshman is a phenom. Maybe not a phenom, but he's been really solid for us early on. Hopefully someone that will continue to be a focal point of the offense as we develop here. And we're going to hope to keep Spencer Strickland as a focal point of the offense both today and this season. We're going to get it out just in time on the option, and he's going to beat him into the corner at Sonoma State. He's going to have a 2-score lead. That was something we had a chance to do last week against Arizona State and couldn't get it done. But we cash in, and these first 2 drives have been almost picture perfect. It's been a phenomenal start for the Seawolves offensively. Get a stop on defense as well. And it is a 2-score lead late in the first quarter, early, obviously, in the game. But exactly what we're trying to do, be able to get enough pressure to get early stops, and be able to consistently stay on the field and make enough big plays. Really keep the defense on their toes, and I think we've done an excellent job of that here on the first couple of drives. But let's see if the defense gets back to work, and it's really going to be the first big play of the game. That's going to be Shedeur Sanders finding Jonte Webster downfield for a big one, and they are going no huddle. This was the first no huddle team we saw this season, so a new challenge in that regard. So we're going to see what we have in terms of audibles and how well we can keep pressure on. Against the no huddle here, we bring a couple of linebackers on the blitz, and it's Travis Hunter over the middle for a big play just outside of the red zone. And Colorado is marching on their second drive here, and it is Shedeur Sanders operating from the pocket and putting the ball right on the money, moving it downfield for the Buffaloes. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Again, you really don't need to edit too much against these no-huddle teams, but we're able to stack up a run right there, but that doesn't slow them down one bit. They're right back on the line. They're shifting. We're shifting. Maybe I'm a little too drawn up to the run right here because Shedeur Sanders off the play action is going to drop it in for a touchdown, and Colorado gets a much-needed answer on their second drive of the game. 2 touchdowns and a field goal from the two teams in this first quarter, so a little bit of noise early, and we're trying to answer right back, but we just cannot quite hit it. Had it in the blue range on the throw meter, but Foreman cannot bring it in, and they would get us to third down and get us stopped breaking up that attempt from Scooter Page right there. And now we're bringing on the senior Matthew York for the first time today. He's going to boot this one away to Travis Hunter and Bubba Van Claiborne. Very nice job. Dakota Mills coming in as well. And Travis Hunter looks hurt, or he's doing a little cat sway, cat back. Never done that stretch. Very good for your back. A little interesting. Here we go. Back on defense. Colorado back at it, hitting us perhaps with a taste of our own medicine with a little option to end this first quarter. And we got off to a great start, but Colorado has not blinked at all. And they are marching it right back down the field. On their third drive of the game, and on 3rd and 4, we came with the blitz. Shedeur saw it, got it out quick, and we were right there. Just cannot get the breakup. Might have had a guy breaking towards the left, but he's going to go deep. And that is Nico Solomon, who has been the safety who has given up a couple of big plays in each of our first 2 games, but he was involved on the breakup on the first drive and that one there. So good to see that, and there just an issue with me switching on and getting out of the way. Looked like we may have had that run contained, but it is instead a Colorado touchdown, and they will take their first lead of the game. As you can see here, it feels like we got this bottled up. It really does. And then just going to be able to squeeze through that hole there. Really nice job of maneuvering, and then I switch on and go the wrong direction. I can't really remember what happened there. But devastating blow. But we're going to come right back and hit an out route. It is the senior, Demetrius Williamson. He's got a couple of catches in this first half. And we're looking for an answer to get back into the lead. Obviously had that great start offensively, and then Colorado answered right back, and to get it back in the hands of Spencer Strickland. How big has he been for us in this first half? And we're going to get it on our own 45, get Strickland on the Texas route here, get into a flood concept, and we're going to go right back to Scooter Page. Another big half for Scooter. He had a huge first half in our first game of the season. I believe something like 8 catches, 150 yards, and 2 or 3 touchdowns. Just what a way to start your college career. My goodness. We're going to go to a toss here on 1st and 10, getting a little power formation. And we're going to get it to Cameron Teague, and what a block from Julian McDonald, number 55. Actually, that might be Perkins, our left guard, who was pulling out there on that one. I think that's who that was. By the way, what a block. And that gets us a big run. And that's going to set us up with a 1st and 10 from the 30. We're going to fake this jet sweep. And we had this happen earlier, and it led to a stalled out drive. We have breaking away receiver on the crossing route. Last time was Foreman, this time Scooter Page. And we just can't quite put it on the money and can't quite haul it in. And an absolute disaster here. I promise I was trying to pump fake to A. I must have either taken too long to hit the button a second time, or it just didn't register that I hit it, and we throw a pick instead of throwing to Spencer Strickland. Or I think he was the man in motion. Whoever was R1 on just the curl was wide open. But Colorado's going to get right back to work. They do not care. It is Sanders to Wester on the edge. Already 5 catches for 87 yards in this first half. And he would have a huge game, as would a few Colorado receivers, as this offense really started to find their footing at this point in the game off play action. Going to get it behind Alexander Valentine on the post, and that is Wester again. And Colorado, after going down 10-0, has had nothing but answers. And we need to find one ourselves right here. And we're going to get a little bit of one with Javion Foreman. Perhaps maybe get a drive going, get us back in the end zone, preferably. At least a field goal to make it a one-score game. Somehow make this the last real drive of the first half would also be fantastic, but that would take some good clock management, and that's not going to be it. Taking a sack on 3rd and 11. Need to be able to maneuver out of the pocket better there. And we're going to give Colorado the ball back. Not what we want to do. But on 2nd and inches, they're not just going to pound the rock. They're going to go off play action, look in the flat, and we are all over it. So good to see the secondary is still going after it and making plays, but Shedeur Sanders is still trying to make plays down the field. Wow. Great job of staying with it by Pace Jr. And that is a huge pass breakup to force a punt after they had 2nd and inches, and they go for 2 passes, force 2 incompletions. But Spencer Strickland's going to get right back to work to open our next drive as we look for an answer before the end of the half here. We're going to keep it on the ground. Keontae Tyson, nice patience. Cut it outside. Cheese, please. First down, Sonoma State, and it is a ground game. Getting it going early. Going to throw some orbit motion on a little read RSO here. And may have had McLawler run into the flat for some room. Just like the angle better to just get Teron Barnes up the field for a run. And here, why are we not stepping up through that right side of the pocket? Going the literal exact opposite direction, trying to spin out to the left. So we're going to have a 3rd and 14 and not much doing there. Should have just checked it down. So we're going to try a 55-yard field goal. We're a little desperate. It's too long to really try to go for it. And I maybe should have just punted. Let me know in the comments, what would you have done right there? And I put in Matthew York, the punter, who has slightly better kick power for that one. It did not matter. I get it in the red on the accuracy. But we're going to make a play. That is Jaden Bowie with the pick on Shedeur Sanders, and Sonoma State, after looking dead in the water after an electric start, is back to life a little bit after that one. So a mistake by the potential #1 overall pick in I guess it's still technically next year's NFL draft. But Sonoma State needs to find an answer here, and we got plenty of time in the pocket, and wow. Fitting it between essentially 5 loose defenders, we'll say, into CJ Peaks for a first down, and we got 2nd and 12 at the 15, 25 seconds to go. So this would be a big opportunity to cash in and finish in the end zone, and it's going to be on a back shoulder ball to Javion Foreman. We were looking for him on the out, but maybe we threw it too early to get him to break. But we get a touchdown throw on the Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter, and fire that bow, baby. There we go. Sonoma State right back in it and going for 2. Trying to make it a 2-score game. I'm trying to get this tight end delay right here, but I obviously can't run all those vertical routes, so I want to use those 2 as a clear out and zig Foreman, and it just works so perfectly. I love when you scheme something up like that. It's so beautiful. So 21-18, and Colorado doesn't want to be done in this half, but we're going to send them straight to the locker room, and we're going to get there with the sack. I believe Kobe Garland is the one that gets there and closes in. So all things considered, pretty good for Sonoma State, for the Seawolves. 21-18, but we're going to need to make at least a stop here, as Colorado is going to get the ball first to open the second frame of things here in this Week 3 matchup in Boulder. And on the first play, it's going to be right to Travis Hunter, and just like last week, the first play of the second half on defense is going to be a surrendered touchdown. So Travis Hunter, he had a couple big plays in the first half. It was mainly about Jonte Wester and what he was able to do. But Travis Hunter gets a big one there. Gets back at us for picking on him for that touchdown going into the half there. Shoot, we blitz right off that edge. Almost the perfect play call. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe we got to start shifting or audibling on that first play of the second half. Maybe people got a read of what we're doing coming out. I did not know that. I don't think we ran the same play. So maybe that's just a CPU thing. But we're going to go right back to Spencer Strickland. We're not going to dwell on that. 28-18. Looking to put together a drive. This one's far from over. We've made a number of plays on offense. Feels like we've mainly been stalling out. Not a lot of 3-and-outs. Feels like we're moving the ball and just haven't finished as many drives as we should have. And we're going to get Scott McLaughlin, the tight end, there after a really nice first game. Didn't get him involved at all last week and didn't get a touch at all in the first half today. So nice to get him a look right there and get the drive going. But we got a 3rd and 2, and here I thought I hit the pull button in time. I feel like sometimes they change up the timing on the reads and how quick you got to give it out. So then I was hitting L1 to pitch it, but I didn't realize Spencer Strickland had it because he didn't pull the ball out. Barnes didn't pull the ball out. I didn't pull the ball out, however you want to put that. And instead we just put the ball on the ground. So Colorado is back on offense. Tough way to end that drive. We really had some momentum going. But Shedeur Sanders under pressure, and we're going to get the sack. And that time it is for sure Kobe Garland didn't get the sack. Maybe it wasn't him on the one right before the half, but that was for sure the freshman Kobe Garland getting in there. Bring it down, Shedeur Sanders. And off play action, it's going to be a first down. It felt like that was kind of the story of the second half for us defensively beyond that first play touchdown, as we were able to get some really good first down plays, but then second down was not the same story. We're going to try to overload that right side here, but they're going to keep it. Beautiful play call, and Sanders takes it across. Colorado is absolutely rolling on offense. Just a couple of hiccups really for them, but it has been a knife through hot butter for them. And then let's just appreciate the fun that is this play, right? If we were doing this all the time on offense, it'd be a little obscene. But pulling stuff off like that every once in a while, it's just fun. And we get a first down to Javion Foreman. What a play from Teron Barnes. And then here, 3rd and 16. Kind of the same. We kind of got a few fun plays in a row, actually. We could just dump it off, but I'm really trying to get it deep, and we are able to. Once again, Javion Foreman, he had himself a really nice game. We already had a few different guys this year with 100-yard games, like I mentioned in the stats portion of this episode earlier, but he was able to add himself to that list today. So that makes 4 different receivers who have had 100-yard games, and Spencer Strickland, although would not have either 100 yards receiving or rushing combined. He did have 100. So he has 2 games this year where he has 100 total yards. So we've been able to get some playmakers on offense. It's just a question of how do we call the offense to protect the defense, and then how do we call our defense to protect itself, essentially. So all the fun things we're trying to figure out. And on a 4th and 1, we're going to go to Cameron Teague, and he's going to pick up a first down. Big drive here, trying to just give ourselves a little bit of life going into the 4th quarter. Down 3 scores. If we can get it to 2, it just feels like we're a takeaway and a big play on offense away from really putting pressure on them. And that's all we can ask for at this point. And it's going to be the senior tight end, or maybe junior tight end, Scott McLaughlin, getting loose for the touchdown. And the Seawolves are back in the end zone. First time this second half. The first half has been real kind to us. The second half has not. Good to get in the end zone there here at the end of the 3rd. Gonna go for 2 just to get as close as possible, I think, essentially was my thinking. It doesn't get us a possession closer. But we get stopped, and we are back on defense. So always a scary sight, and what do you know? A big play. Indeed, at least we get enough of a hit on to slow him down. But Shedeur Sanders already 359 yards. What a day for Shedeur. 3rd and 7. We get pressure, but it does matter. Maybe I would still chalk that up as a drop, but we will hold them to a field goal, and that is big because it is still a 2-score game. And when you need a big play, why not go to your senior, Demetrius Williamson? On the outside for a Sonoma State first down. Big drive to really, give ourselves a chance. And we're going to hit Javion Foreman and just get a little bit closer. Again, he's had such a huge game. And he's going to do another little something here on 2nd and 12, going to set us up with a 3rd and inches. To be honest, I don't know why I changed out of this option look. Now that I'm seeing it on the replay, it is really, really nice. But we're going to get into an inside zone, I believe, and just power it ahead with the fullback, Jackson Gregory. We need to, we get him involved a decent amount, but I want to get him on the highlight film a little bit. And we're going to let him show off, muscling ahead there. So we're going to go to the option here, though, and we're going to get it off just in time to Keontae Tyson. He's going to be able to outrace his man to the edge. for a Sonoma State touchdown, and this game is interesting in the fourth quarter. And at various points in this game, that did not seem like it would be the case. So we are on the right track, but we got to find a way to do something on defense, and we get them into a 3rd and 10, go man coverage, and the catch and run absolutely kills us. Trying to run them down, not gonna happen. You get so close, and then I tried so hard and got so far. Didn't think you'd hear that one on the Rabbit Hole Sports and Media YouTube channel, but Javion Foreman is still going. I think that's the throw that officially got him over 100 yards. We still got a shot with 3 minutes and 3 timeouts to go, but really need to get into the end zone, and preferably before the 2-minute timeout, and doing so without using any of our own timeouts. We're going to try to scheme open Scooter Page, but it is Shedeur Sanders making his name part of the game. I don't know what I was trying to go for then. Really etching his name in the box score, in the story of the game, whatever you want to say. He gets the pick, and that really was the icing on the cake. They would keep it on the ground on a 3rd and 9. We would stop them, get the ball back, get into a 4th down, and really here just trying to make something happen. Trying to throw it to the inside shoulder on this out route to Scooter. He's going to jump up for it, gets tipped, another pick. So a couple garbage time picks. That's tough, but we're trying to get back in the game. I don't care what the stat line says. We're trying to get back in the game, but that would be the end of things. We would come up short, but another tightly contested game. We're in it in the fourth quarter. That's all you can ask for. Not all you can ask for. We want to win. I want to emphasize that. I want to win more than anyone. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of, where we are as a program and the caliber of teams we're playing, all you can ask for. Next year, we'll try to throw on 1 or 2, really good teams at Texas, Ohio State, something like that. But for the time being, I think this is the caliber of competition that gives us the best taste of where we are. As you can see on offense, 511 total yards. We were moving the ball really well, only 5 less than Colorado total. Shedeur Sanders, 21 of 28, 449, 4 touchdowns throwing, 1 rushing. Teron Barnes had 334 through the air, 2 tuds, and 3 interceptions, unfortunately. But Javion Foreman, an excellent game, 9 catches for 112 yards. And Scooter Page didn't seem like he did as much in the second half, but a great first half, and finished with 8 catches for 86 yards as well. Spencer Strickland had 10 rushes for 81, I believe. I missed that. But next week, we go to SDSU to open conference play.